Now we're on to the tabletop of the Delta Unisaw, rust removal and prep. I like to start with some attachments on an angle grinder. Various abrasive attachments meant for stripping paint and removing rust. You can see I'm just feathering very lightly. I don't obviously want to gouge any material out. I'm just trying to remove the rust quickly. In an angle grinder, the RPMs of an angle grinder is much quicker than, say, a random orbit sander. And I've found some attachments that work well that don't dig in at all. This one here especially, it's basically an abrasive compound that sheds as it's working, and it's got a little give to it, so it doesn't actually dig into the tabletop. It really removes rust very well without doing any damage to the tabletop. Obviously we want to keep the tabletop flat, and so I start with these angle grinding attachments, and here you can see after some work that tabletop that had all the rust and paint and grime really worked out well. And then I like to go to random orbit sanding now to remove any of the swirl marks from the angle grinder. The random orbit sander will remove the swirl marks, and obviously is even less aggressive than the angle grinder. And depending on the condition of the tabletop, I'll work up through grits. Sometimes I just do 120 and that's it. Sometimes I do then 120 and 220, and I don't usually go beyond that. And here I've got a wire brush and a drill attachment here, and I'm working through the miter gauge slots to get the rust out of those. Okay, so the tabletop's all cleaned up. Definitely came out good. Here I've got the wings and then the middle section. Obviously it's not all put back together yet, but cleaned up really well. Process works well.